For my project, I am investigating the impact of disrupted circadian rhythms on blood glucose levels in Drosophila, or fruit flies with model type 2 diabetes. And going into my research, I was more interested in the impact of shift work on type 2 diabetes. And so I went in, as I said, using Drosophila because they have a similar insulin signaling pathway as humans do, and they're also easy to modify genetically, and they reproduce quickly, so very cost effective. As for my methods, I put my flies in 4 experimental groups. So I had my flies on the normal schedule, high sugar and normal food, just to establish whether or not the high sugar food does make them or induce type 2 diabetes. And then I had them on the custom shift work schedule that I came up with, high sugar and normal food. I also put them in an activity monitor to see what their activity is over the course of a day for the different experimental groups. And then I did assays, so glucose and Bradford. Bradford assay here is to control for the body size of the flies. So a bigger fly might have higher glucose concentration just because it's bigger. As for my results, I got what I was expecting in terms of the activity monitor experiment. So my flies on the normal schedule did show normal circadian rhythms. So when the lights were on, they were highest activity, and when the lights were off, they were at lowest activity. And as for my flies on the shift work schedule, they didn't follow some sort of rhythms at all, which is what I was expecting, and I'm still carrying out those experiments to see if it changes or not. As for my results for the blood glucose concentration, I did my glucose concentration over the time of the day, and I was able to establish that the flies on the normal food generally show good rhythms, so their glucose levels increase and kind of decrease in a rhythmic way. And then for the flies on the high sugar food, they didn't show any sort of rhythms, and they were generally higher for the flies on the high sugar food, which established for me that the food or the diet may have induced type 2 diabetes, but I also need to carry out more experiments to establish that, because my results were not of high statistical significance, because I only have about 2 to 4 replicates per time point. And then just to conclude, my results suggest that Drosophila on my shift work schedule have disrupted rhythms like I was expecting, and also that my flies on the high sugar food as opposed to normal sugar food have higher sugar concentrations and disrupted sugar rhythms.